In today's video, we are looking at a subscriber requested tool, and that would be the Icon DSLB-R for work light. This particular one just so happened to be walking through Harbor Freight, remembered that comment, saw it hanging on the shelf, and grabbed it for a video. This, at the time I bought it, was $60, and you know Harbor Freight they got sales on stuff all the time, so you could probably get it cheaper than that if you got the coupons or the inside, I don't know, the inside track thing that they do. But yeah, I mean, kind of sitting there on the shelf, it looked like it was decent enough. It's got a nice bit of heft to it, kind of makes you feel like you're buying something. And yeah, so I just picked it up. Let's get into the specs of the thing, because there's a lot of them that we need to go over. Starting off, it is on the white light end of it, which would be this guy right here. I'm assuming that is a high CRI 96 plus colors. CRI stands for color rendering index. That's, I'm assuming, is for paint guys that are trying to match up paint. I'm guessing. I don't know. That's not something I'm too worried about. You got a 270 degree rotating head back and forth. Got a magnetic base down here. We'll take a look at that. And we got a magnetic face, dimmable from 1,000 lumens down to, I think, around 400 lumens. We'll take a look at that again. IP65 rated, which IP65 means you could use it in a wood shop while it's raining. Dust and low pressure water it's protected against. And it is rated for a 1 meter impact resistance. So 3 feet off the ground you could drop it. So if you're holding it at your side and you drop it, it should be okay. I probably would have left that out because 1 meter doesn't really seem like too much. But yeah, so that's all the specs on the thing. Now, getting into the batteries on the thing, as far as I can see from the owner's manual, looks like there's just two cylindrical cells, maybe 18650. They are claiming 5,200 milliamp hours. Discharged and recharged this thing twice, and we got ourselves about 5,300 milliamp hours, so 100 extra milliamp hours on the thing. I will say one disappointing thing I have seen with this so far is the charging rate on it. It's only charging at 1 amp, so a full charge is going to take you the better part of, I didn't write it down, 5.5 hours. It takes, yes, it's 5.5 hours to take this from dead to full charge. I realize a lot of that is for safety of the cells. They don't want these things blowing up and catching on fire while people are charging them. But two 18650 cells, they could take 2 amp hours to charge. I mean, they could charge at 2 amps with no problems without actually damaging the battery or putting any excessive heat into them. So I would have liked to see that charge at 2 amps and maybe cut that down to a 2.5 hour charge. A simple critique, but that's the only one I got so far. Runtime on the thing. Now, normally when I do my little time-lapsey runtime on the things, I just put them on high and see if they're matching what they're saying. This time I was like, you know, let me be a little different this time, and I'll put it on what I would consider like a medium light, because the high on this thing is really bright. So I mean, if you're not trying to illuminate a large area, which I'm never trying to do when I'm working with a work light, just usually a small area like an engine bay or something like that, I usually have it on a medium. So I was like, you know, let me put it on a medium, and we'll do the time lapse on that. And like I said, I regretted that decision because this thing went the better part of 7.5 hours. It would not die, and I did it on a work night, and I'm sitting there half falling asleep looking out of the corner of my eye waiting for this thing to shut off. Yeah, 7.5 hours later. So that's good as far as runtime on the thing. I will say also that there is a little flashy indicator when you start getting low, kind of like this here Milwaukee single cell work light. And yeah, like I said, that's kind of nice. And yeah, so what do you say we flip the camera down and take a look at it and give it the feels and give you my opinion on what I've seen so far with it. I haven't used it yet, but yeah, I mean the old in the hand feel. So yeah, let's do that. So this is it out of the package here. I figure I'd grab a couple of other lights that I've reviewed on this channel just for size reference. This would be a more recent one, which is the Craftsman light, kind of the same concept going on with the light bar coming out the front, bouncing the desk around a little bit. Again, same deal, flashlight in front on this guy. And this would be the little Milwaukee single cell red lithium USB 3.0 work light that I've had for a long time. Again, works pretty good. Not too happy about the whole battery situation going on with them. They just don't seem to last very long. Now getting into the actual size of the thing. It's listed on the website, but you're looking at about 9.5 inches long by 2.25 wide, and deep. There we go. Yeah, about 2.25 deep. Now, as far as the aesthetics of the things go, well, as far as attaching the things go, I should probably say, you got a little hook inside here that you could, oddly enough, hook onto things. Got a 360-degree swivel. It's a little finicky getting it out, but not too bad as long as you got a little bit of a fingernail going on. On the base of the guy, you have a magnet, and looks like actually we have 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets on the base of it. Now I got a little chunk of steel here that we can magnetize this thing to. Let's try it full extension. That's more than likely how you're going to use it. Put a little leverage on the thing so we got the whole. Now let's get that measurement too while we're talking about it. End to end, fully extended, you're looking at about 17.25 inches. Now back to the magnet situation. Yeah, it's a pretty good magnet. I mean, it will cut loose if you really wiggle it, but I mean, I'm not sure why you would do that. And on the back side, apparently there are a couple of more magnets. Looks like we got 2 up here and 1, 2 down here. As far as how they will hold, let me get a bigger piece of metal. They actually hold on to the face, so if you're facing it, and yeah, I mean a lot more surface area, so they do hold a lot better than the base one. Plus, there's less leverage trying to knock it off. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, as far as buttons and switches go, and trapdoors, you have your USB-C charging port here on the side with a little rubber boot to keep the water out, I'm assuming. On the front, we got ourselves a power button. This one actually powers up the light bars. There are 2, one here and one here. The one on the inside is more of a warmer light. The one on the outside is more of a blue light. Personally, depends on what I'm working with, or working on, I should say, is which light I would prefer. Blue light's nice because it gives you a nice clean light, and you can kind of see everything better. The only problem with the blue light, I find, if you got a lot of shiny aluminum or metal parts in it, the blue light kind of strains on your eyes, whereas to the more warmer light gives you just more comfortable on the eyes, I should say. Now, as far as the light in the front, you have one button here, which I believe is for the flashlight function in the front there. And yeah, so you got bright lights coming. There's really not too good of a way to hide them, so shield your eyes. So we start off, we got the blue light on the front here. Now, the one thing I did notice when I was playing with this, to adjust the actual intensity of the light, you kind of push and hold. And then it'll ramp all the way up, and then it gives you a nice flashing indicator to let you know that it's to its maximum intensity or minimum intensity. Go again, which is nice because I've had lights before where you do the old push and hold, and you're never quite sure when it gets to the max, and then you got to go all the way back around. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. It does have a little purple light here, black light, I guess we would call it. That's for leak detection. If you're trying to find the leak on something, you kind of put the dye into the system, you let it run for a little bit, and you could see where the leak's actually coming from. theoretically. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Now to get to the next light mode, we gotta honk it out here, and same deal, push and hold, dims down, flashes, lets you know that it's all the way down, and then push and hold brings it all the way back up. And again, you probably won't be able to see the temperature too good on the camera, but I mean it is a warmer light. Now the one thing that is kind of cool about this too is that there's a switch in here, so if you close it with the light on, it actually turns the light off, which is kind of nice. Now last but not least, you got the old flashlight in the end here. I was actually kind of impressed by the lens on this thing. Usually with flashlights you'll get or I guess spotlights would be a better better description of it, where this would be like a floodlight where it just kind of throws light everywhere. With the flashlight or the spotlight on the end of this thing, the lens on this thing is actually fairly well made. You can kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video here, but it's actually making it look worse on the video. But in person, the actual spotlight on the thing, there's no real hot spot in it. It's just a circular beam of light, and yeah, very impressive. I mean, a little bit of haloing out here on the edge of it, but I mean that's to be expected. It is a lens, for God's sake. But I mean, yeah, it is a fairly decent flashlight for a work light. Usually they chintz out on the old work lights there, but yeah. And I got the, let's get the Craftsman one. And yeah, you can really see it, that real hot spot in the middle, and then you got the halo around the end. Like I said, this is also, I think, like $20-25 cheaper, so not comparing apples to apples there. But yeah, one thing I also forgot to mention was you got a little battery fuel gauge on the backside here for letting you know when the thing's gonna run out of juice. So, I mean, that's about it. I mean, it is just a work light after all. Not breaking new grounds here as far as any of that goes. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. Different options for temperature, and you can actually too, I forgot to mention, you can get both of these to light up at the same time. I'm not sure why you would need that situation. Maybe if your power went out, but yeah, you can get both of them to light up. But and there's the blue one again. But yeah, it seems like a decent enough light in the hand. Like I said, it's got a nice sturdy feel to it. Nice rubber over molding on the red plastic. Yeah, not too bad. And as a bonus, when I was sitting in the checkout line, I saw this little guy, which I kind of thought might come in handy for the old personal vehicle there. And it's just a little, I think this thing was like $3 and change. Little thing sitting at the register, and it's just a little accessory power port or cigarette lighter. Back when I was a kid, that's what we called them. And yeah, you plug it in there, let it charge. I hooked it up to the benchtop power supply. It only pulls 50 milliamps, so I mean, the amount of time it takes to charge is not going to suck your battery down. But yeah, might not be a bad idea to grab one of these and charge it up, throw it in the old glove box there, so you have a decent flashlight. But yeah, this thing right here, I mean, you got low, which is low. I'm going to do a little multiplexing there. And it got medium and a high. Kind of hard to see on camera there, but I mean, it's a usable light. Better than using your cell phone if you need to, find something in the dark or look underneath the hood. Not too bad whatsoever. And it's got the Chinesium chip in it, so push and hold and you get the old SOS, and it is actually SOS and not SOSOSOSOSO. So yeah, little bonus find I got there. Well, there we go. That is the Icon DSLB-R work light. Seems decent enough out of the package. It checks all the boxes as far as what you would want in a work light. I mean, nice solid detents to hold the angles of the dangles on the thing. Flips all the way around and then back again. Magnets, hooks. I mean, what more could you ask for? Again, nice sturdy feeling in the hand. Doesn't feel like it's cheaply made. $60 barring any disasters with this thing, I can't see how you'd go wrong for a $60 price on a work light like this. Icon is comparing it. Of course, as always, Icon compares their tools to Snap-on tools for the most part. And yeah, I think the Snap-on version that they're comparing this to is like 2-3 times the price of this one. So I don't have the Snap-on one, nor am I ever going to buy that. So I'm going to have to take their word for it that it's a good comparison. But yeah, as far as that goes, I mean, it seems decent enough. I'm going to be sitting on this video for a little bit. I just want to get this into action in the back of the work truck. So by the time I post this video, maybe probably right after the holidays or in the middle of the holidays is when I'll actually post this video. And by then I'll have a good opinion as far as using the thing out in the real world, what I think about it. I mean, for all I know, I could drop it and it could explode into 1,000 pieces and then I'll cry because I wasted my money. But yeah, that all aside, it seems like a decent enough light, decent enough price. I can't see how you'd go wrong. So yeah, I'll put the model number and everything in the description as well, so you can search it yourself and take a look for it. And next time you're walking through the old checkout line and you see one of these lights, you might want to pick it up. Like I said, it might be good, something good for the old ladies or the kids to have sitting in the glove box, just in case they need a flashlight in an emergency situation. Like I said, $3 and change. Not bad for a little gadget. So, yeah, I think that's another video. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comments section. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.